All right, welcome to episode 6 of Thinking Outside the Pod. My name is Jimmy. I'll be your host for this episode, and I am joined by...
I'm Patrick.
All right, yeah, so episode 6, if y'all listened to last episode, it kind of went long, kind of got off track a couple times.
We went through a whole bunch of stories we probably shouldn't have, but they were great stories.
Yeah, so we kept y'all entertained for that long, so we try to keep them a little bit shorter, but
listen anyway, because we got some great stuff.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but yeah, we'll go ahead and talk about what's going on. If you're listening to this, by the time we publish it, it's April 1st is pretty soon, and
April 1st is this week. This is this week's April Fool's episode, kind of.
Yeah, so we just want to start off by kind of talking about some of the pranks that you've done or you've seen that you've.
What's your favorite prank for New Year's? Or not for New Year's, for
my New Year's prank. It's like, what year is it? It's
tell them it's a different year. What the hell is this? April. I'm supposed to say spring break pranks.
But pranks. I rarely do pranks. I do one of my last job. I used to like lie a lot, but I used to tell people
that's not a prank. That's just a bad habit.
I know, but like funny lies, like I was on the darts team in high school and things like that. Where people would say like, you always lie. Like, I don't lie. These are word pranks.
Word pranks.
So I kind of do things like that where I can just make up a story and just
go with
believe it's true. Like, I once told that like Peter Pan and like stories like that are all about pedophilia, and I had one of my friends believing it for like the longest time.
He's like, I don't watch that shit anymore.
Yeah, and but things like that I like to do. But
awful,
as far
man.
as
why would you say something like that?
It was just funny. What
kind of mind do you have to want to say stuff like that to somebody?
Just to see if people will believe me. That's what I like doing. It's funny to me, things like that. Like, I
can't keep a straight face when I lie. Like, I'll do something and like, was that you? I'm like, no.
Well, as soon as they
of course not.
As soon as they kind of like believe me for like a second, that's when I tell them like, no, I'm kidding. That's
before you go and mess somebody up forever.
Like, or like I telling one of my coworkers, like they ask where this goes, and I'm like, oh, that goes in the basement. And the store didn't have a basement. And like I tell them, like, there's no stairs down there. You just have to go through the elevator. You have to ask one of the managers for the key, kind of thing. And then
they're asking managers for the key.
Yeah,
to
and
the
then
basement.
they're like, oh, I never knew it because it was like a newer employee, and they
awful.
like about to go ask him, like, no, I'm kidding. It goes over there or something like that.
That's pretty messed up, Jimmy. Those
What?
aren't pranks. Those are actually fucked up things to do.
That hurts people's minds.
Yes.
Well, I'd rather inflict, because I think they're
emotional
funny.
damage,
and physical damage, but I guess both can hurt. Sticks and stones. And
so what other kind of pranks did you pull?
I mean, not really much. I mean, as far as like planned out pranks, like I never did anything like a bucket of water over the door or
I wish
things
I would have
like
done
that.
something like that.
Yeah, I never did anything like that. I used to, I guess when I was younger, like tie like sheets to doorknobs so people couldn't get out of the room.
Them. That's a good one.
That's
a good one.
That's a like young, and I used to.
Well, it don't matter. I used to glue quarters in front of the soda machines in college.
Now
you know what I'm saying?
That's evil.
And then the funny part was I had my boss trying to scoop him up one day. He was kicking it with his foot, and then he got down there and was like digging on it with his thumb. And I was just like, oh, crap, I'm in trouble.
Turned over you were benched down with a quarter and a super glue and just
I was like,
wide eyes like,
He asked
oops.
me, his face was so red as hell. And he just looked at me, he was like, was that you? And I was like, no. And he like knew it because I was always doing stuff like that. And like every year I would go like on April Fools, I'd go glue coins to the thing down there. I'd give people back like the wrong videos. Like I'd swap out their videos and stuff because we would edit video.
Mm-hmm.
I would swap out their video with something else. So like they'd come and get like a Mother's Day clip that I just put together real quick. I'd burn it on the disc and hand it to them. And I mean, this is just like
give it to their mom. It's all.
Well,
like
I mean, they probably could have given it to their moms, but it wasn't like any mom-friendly stuff. Yeah,
terrible
it was
videos.
It was just an awful clip.
You just
video.
hope that they watch it beforehand.
Before they go and show it to like a whole class.
You ruined families.
Dude, that was fun to me. That's fun to me. When I used to live with some friends, I'd put saran wrap on the toilet and they go pee on it and start spraying everywhere.
Oh my gosh, no, I'd never do that.
I super glued my friend Corny to the toilet once. That was fun.
That's not not fun for him.
He was screaming from the bathroom for like like about an hour, I guess.
He's still there.
He fell asleep after a while. Yeah.
That's evil. That's
Well, he said it hurt. We ended up just ripping him off of it.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. See, anything like where I'd have to do anything like that, I wouldn't want to plan and do because that's just weird. But yeah, that's evil.
But anyways,
I
these
think
are-
I think my word pranks are a little bit more fun than.
Well, I mean that I like to see stuff going wrong.
hmm
I like to see people like sit and wait. Like the time we got Beto upstairs,
yeah, scaring people. We're
gonna have to put the YouTube link so you guys can see this getting Beto, the first episode we ever had of that.
yeah, I never really
Scream like a
scared
Goryl.
people. One of my older coworkers used to do that all the time. He used to because all the offices would be upstairs, and the stairs to get back down to the floor would be near where we work. So one of my coworkers would see one of the office like women coming down the stairs and
Sneak around.
Yeah, down at the bottom of the stairwell, he'd just like run across like real creepily, and it would like really scare them because he always says that like things like that, like fast motion and things like that, would scare people more than just like going out and
Yes,
yelling
when you
boo.
jump out and,
Yeah.
and scream, that's insane, man. But yeah, those are my ideas of good April Fool pranks. You
Yeah.
know,
And there's online, there's a lot of images and videos of all these pranks. So we'll go ahead and do one of the Top Pod contests.
yes.
So if you just hashtag April Fools or April Fools pranks or hashtag pranks, anything like that, but then make sure you hashtag Top Pod on it as well. We'll
At
pick,
Tot Pod or
yeah, we'll-
hashtag Tot Pod.
yeah, we'll pick the best one and kind of make it something special from us.
Give you a shout out
Yeah.
next episode next week. It'll be a little late, but we'll get you ideas out there. This
Yeah.
is stuff that you can actually go and work on and do in the next few days, and
Mhm.
then tell us how it works out.
Yeah, just let us know, or things you've done in the past.
If
Anything
you guys
like
got
that.
videos, send us clips to y'all's YouTube videos. Upload them, photos. We'll take photos.
Yeah, just
Doesn't
let
have
us
to be
know.
just words, guys.
And yeah, any good ones, we'll at least put them up on our website. You never know.
Never
Um,
know.
But yeah, anything else you want to talk about on that, or we can
No,
go ahead and
what
get
were
into
you
this
saying
week's
about?
news?
Yeah, what were you saying about April Fool's Day? What's gonna happen this April Fool's Day?
Oh yeah, big news. I don't know if any of our listeners, they should. I mean, it was amazing. Mystery Science Theater 3000, one of my favorite shows. They're all on Netflix right now. A lot of them are on Netflix.
They're most of them on Netflix.
Yeah, and
I gotta renew my
I mean,
subscription.
if y'all don't know, a Mystery Science Theater essentially is they take old, cheaply made,
like B movies from like the 60s and 70s, maybe.
and they just go watch them and make fun of them.
Yeah.
Just jokes after jokes about.
Basically, like going to the movies with me and my friends. That's
Yeah.
kind of what it turns into. You
Yeah.
see us, our heads up in the front row, just throwing popcorn at the screen and going, "Come on!"
Yeah, and one of my funnest things to do is like whenever me and my friends are watching movies, just make fun of everything that's happening on the screen.
Just heckle the hell out of them.
Yeah,
Especially there's only like 3 people in the audience.
Yeah.
Just like you go. I watch movies late, obviously, I guess, but
Mhm.
there's nothing better than only paying $1.50 to sit in a movie and throw popcorn at a screen.
Yeah,
nothing better.
I wouldn't do that. I don't talk during movies.
Really?
Yeah,
Come on.
I never. I hate
Even if
that.
like there's only 2 or 3 people in there.
Maybe I'd feel
You
a
paid
bit more.
$1 for the movie. Give me a break. You know what I'm saying?
Not recently. I mean, movie prices, but if there's just me and my friends at the movie theater, but if it's just I would talk, but if it was like full of people, I would not.
Yeah, not if
I
it's full
hate-
of people,
yeah.
'cause you
or
don't-
even if there's like
If
one
it's
other
like
person.
a new movie or if it's full of people, I usually don't. But if it's like what was I gonna go see the other day? I can't even remember off the top of my head, but it was at the dollar movies.
Mhm.
So I figured I'd go and just like raise all kinds of hell in there. You know what I mean? Because there's usually like
Yeah.
2 people and like the third person in the back's either playing with himself or doing some awful
Is that
shit.
that
you
kind of
know what I mean?
movie? Okay.
No,
now
they're
we
not
know.
porn
now
movies
we know.
anymore.
Now we know. Okay, that's cool. No, it's cool, Patrick.
It was the Lego movie. Come on, man.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, Mystery Science Theater 3000. This is a show back in the late
Says
90s.
it ended in '99.
Yeah, late 90s. It kind of disbanded. It went through a couple cast member changes, a bunch of writers and through there, but it got canceled.
Mike Nielsen, is that the dude from SNL?
Is he in this?
Oh no, that's Kevin Nielsen. Kevin Nealon.
Kevin Nealon is a
All right,
comedian.
it's not
oh, yeah,
Mike
he
Nelson
was,
at
yeah, he
all.
was he did what was it, like subliminal message guy and things like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I thought this was him, but this is Mike
it's
Nelson.
yeah. Yeah, he was one of the main writers and he hosted it. But essentially, yeah, they make fun of these old movies and it's awesome. And they've been off the air. They've done side projects like riff tracks where they essentially it's the same thing. they take movies, and the thing with Riff Tracks is it's more newer movies. So they did like the Avengers and all movies like that. So
So those on Netflix, or those are probably on YouTube
no,
somewhere, maybe.
no, well, clips of them are like little short.
I'd be interested in seeing some of
excerpts
the
of
new
it.
ones. Yeah.
But the full length, because what they do is they record it, and of course they can't like record with the movie because it's like a higher
Against the
like a
law.
yeah, it's against the law. But they record the MP3 of it, and then you just play the MP3 during the movie.
Oh.
So kind of like that. It's like another
kind of
audio
like
track.
a podcast.
Exactly. Yeah, you can play this if you sync this up with Wizard of Oz.
You
There's
can
some
play it
crazy
reverse.
There's some crazy similarities,
You
and
get Jimmy telling you to do crazy things in the movie, in the Lego movie.
yeah, when I started talking about word pranks, I think that's the point where Dorothy, I don't know, talks, which is weird. So word pranks, talking, weird similarities.
Your rundown here says you got Kevin Murphy. Is that another one of the Eddie Murphy's brothers?
Yep. No.
Nope.
But yeah, they're coming back essentially for April Fools. They're coming back, not to do any like movies or anything, but National Geographic is bringing them into all April Fools, or at least for hour chunks of the day. They're going to riff National Geographic shows. So
That's kind of, I don't know. Yeah, you
it's
know.
not the same, but
Tell me
I
you
mean,
never watched one of those shows and just came up with your own audio. I used to watch the TV on mute a lot of
yeah.
times and just like pretend I knew what they were talking about.
Yeah, when I was younger, that's what I used to do.
Because I like to have the radio
'Cause-
on. When I
yeah.
get home, sometimes I put on like the radio really loud, and then I put the TV on because I like to party.
You listen to the radio and the TV at the same
Yeah,
time. Why would you
yeah.
want to do that?
'Cause I like to party.
I like to party. Good movie. If you if you know what movie that is, let us know and you might win something.
Hashtag it.
But the I used to do that, and it used to be real funny because I, especially like on like CNN, like with all the talking heads, I used to like make up funny,
Yes.
funny voices and like weird like topics they talk
Comments, yeah.
about.
It's
So
like there used to be a drinking game of ours.
yeah,
Yep.
what
you
did
just
you do?
get
You
drunk,
drunk?
and talk shit about what they think they're
Not
talking
really
about.
a game. It was just something we did while drinking.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I'm excited to see it. I don't have cable, so I guess I'll have to get it other ways. But
not pirating it.
not pirating it, but somehow maybe go to someone's house that has it or something. But yeah, a bunch of different shows. So I'm excited about that just because.
Well, I love those stuff, you know what I mean? But it's going to be kind of different now that they're actually doing the Nat Geo shows, because
Yeah.
Nat Geo shows,
It's about animals.
they're
and
more betterly made. I don't know how to say it, more well made.
stuff. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, they're
Like, those B movies they used to rip on were like just asking
just-
for it. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
just ridiculous.
That's asking for it.
Yeah, definitely. If you haven't seen any of them, I recently watched one where it's not a science fiction movie, but it's one they did, Mystery Science Theater 3000. It's I Accused My Parents. It's like this old like one of those like afternoon special movies, like with a message.
I
Like,
accuse my parents.
yeah, essentially the kid gets to all these bad things, but it traces back to him lying about his parents drinking and stuff like that.
Oh.
So it's like a flashback thing, and they just make fun of like everything about it. It's hilarious. It's on Netflix. It's one of the higher rated ones on Netflix. So
I'm
definitely
gonna look that up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna this payday. I'm gonna renew my Netflix and go just so I can watch a few.
yeah, watch that one for sure. And there's all the science fiction ones.
Out of this
that are
list you
amazing.
got here, the Unlikely Animal Friends and Man vs. Monster, I think, are going to be some of the best ones. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, it's if you watch anything.
Because Man vs. Monster, he's like, is that to do with is that the fishing guy, or which one was he?
I'm not sure. I don't watch National Geographic.
Because if
so
it's
I'm
the
not sure.
fishing one, it's like he'll be like up there reeling something in, and he's like, oh, this is what this guy's thinking, and then
Yeah.
oh, this is what the fish is thinking. You know, the fish's point of view.
Yeah, it's
Because everybody always wonders, you know, what the hell are you thinking when you're a fish, a giant fish on the end of this little dude's fucking rod, you know?
yeah. I think it's gonna be good. Anything they do is bound to be funny. Like if you watch just the clips of some of their stuff, it's amazing what they think of. I mean, it's all
We're
written.
going to find a best of.
Yeah, I'm sure there are a bunch of them, but yeah, it's something that I always liked. There's also a show called Cheap Seats. I don't know if anyone really knows, but it's
It sounds familiar. Isn't it like
it's-
the same thing?
it's the same thing except they do sports, like old sports.
Yes,
it's
yes.
with the Sklar.
Wasn't it on? Those two twin brothers,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
they do podcasts and things right now, so they're still around. They stand-up actors and all.
We
that
should
kind
get
of
into stand-up comedy as twins. I'm telling you.
stuff. We're twins. Can't
That's
you
where
see
the money's at.
Can't you see the resemblance?
Strike a
But
pose.
yeah, all shows like that where they kind of make fun of what's going on, they're awesome.
I'm totally about
I'd
that.
I'd even want to do them. Like maybe we can do some special episodes of something.
We'll have a
Well-
Tot Pod Theater 4000.
Yeah, or maybe a
If
better
you guys
title.
know any, definitely a better title.
we'll
If you
think
guys,
we'll think of it more than just 2 seconds before you said that.
yeah, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
just send us ideas, man. You guys
Yeah,
go to our
well-
website and comment ideas in the
yeah,
comment box.
things that you
Should
like.
talk shit about.
Yeah, things that you like or you don't like that you'd like us to talk about. Maybe like music videos or something. I'd watch that Kanye West.
Kind of like a pop-up video.
Yeah, pop-up video.
Without pop-ups, we'll just be like,
This actor is, I don't know.
Dead.
I can't even think of anything. Oh,
no, it's just
Yeah,
the
we
guy is
just-
so not. We'll, you know, we're gonna work on this, guys. We'll bring you some,
yeah.
maybe
we'll think about it.
some really old music videos and really lay it on them.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, just let us know, comments and all that kind of stuff. Next kind of big news story, which I think is kind of crazy. But Stephen Colbert, do you watch Colbert Report?
Yes, I love that show. That's him and John Stewart are where I get most of my news from.
Yeah, that's me too. We we work in news, so it's kind of funny that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you
we-
know,
we're at work, we blank it out.
yes. In other words, I'm like so like not interested in this kind of news anymore. It's always stabbings, DWIs,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
shootings, robberies, and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So
kinda
it's like one
really-
long newscast.
It's like if you want me to care, make fun of something. And,
Yes, you know,
and-
like that's what we do. You've been there when we
Yeah.
see something ridiculous and like, what was it? Yeah, this last couple days ago they had that lady who's trying to sue McDonald's because she spilled coffee on her genitals and she's getting warm sensations down there. I was like, dude, she's way too old to be getting warm
Oh.
sensations down there. You know?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's why and Stephen Colbert and all his writers are freaking amazing.
Yes,
Hilarious,
The Daily
so-
Show guys just as
Yeah,
well,
Jon
man. I
Stewart.
love them both.
But he's kind of under fire right now because he's accused of making a racist joke, and it actually spawned a trending topic on or a trending hashtag. I don't even know what they call it, but a trending thing on Twitter, hashtag cancel Colbert, and I think it's ridiculous because it was a tweet taken out of or a quote from a show. I mean, literal word for word from a show, but they took it out of context. And
Well, I mean, the whole thing is that if you're gonna get pissed off that tweet came through like that, you should actually get pissed off at the whole reason why he wrote the tweet was because of the story they were covering about Native Americans.
yeah, I mean, look into it. It's essentially the joke. I mean, read it word for word, but
Read it. Let's.
So the tweet that and it wasn't even Stephen Colbert's actual account. It was the show's account. So someone else.
Like
It wasn't
social
him.
media intern.
Yeah, it wasn't him writing it. But the quote was word for word. I'm willing to show the hashtag Asian community I care by introducing the Ching Chong Ding Dong Foundation for Sensitivity to Orientals or whatever. And of course, that's
And why did he say that? What was that episode about?
Out of context, of course, it's bad. But in context, what he was doing was making fun of the Washington Redskins owner because they made of course, Washington Redskins. You always hear about the stories where they're under fire because their name is insensitive to Native Americans. But what that owner did to kind of to alleviate
That's a joke in itself, man. That is such a big joke. You know what I mean?
To alleviate the pressure on him is he created a foundation, which is good. But what he called it was the Washington Redskins Original Americans Foundation. So he used the improper term
the derogatory term that everybody was pissed about in the first place
as part of the foundation, which is what Stephen Colbert did to parody it, to
parody it.
Yeah, to satirize
That's what they
it.
do.
It's a satire. So he took the joke to make fun of what was really happening. So people got all crazy. They started hashtag cancel Colbert because
hashtag cancel Washington Redskins.
yeah,
I'm on part Indian, man. That's what I like. I get
Oh,
offended
yeah,
by
are you-
that. So
are you
yeah,
offended
that
by that?
bothers me. You know, it's like you don't go around, Virginia with like the rednecks and the crackers. You don't go and talk Negroes. You know what I mean? In the South, you don't do that.
yeah. I'm not offended by it because I mean I have some Native American in me, some like a 16th or whatever, but I mean not much, so I can't even say that. But
I just think it's kind of wrong. That's all I think.
yeah, I mean I wouldn't do anything that would make anybody else feel offended. So I'm like, come on, just change the name. But I mean, their point is that it's like
understand
it's
the
an
history.
institution and
I
all that
understand
kind of
the
stuff.
history, but you know what I mean. just because slavery is historical doesn't mean it's right. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
If they had like the N word, like a
Yeah,
like,
you know what I'm saying?
like it was a team that had that, and they're
Nebraska
just like,
Negroes.
oh no, this is an institution we've
It
been
was historical. We
it's
always had
historical.
this name. Well, fuck,
Like,
it was
yeah,
wrong
it's-
then. It's wrong now.
yeah.
You know.
And it was wrong now even more because we know it's terrible.
I kind of think that the Stephen Colbert thing, though, it's going to bring more attention to the Redskins as well. You know what I mean? Like I said, that's kind of a bad joke in itself. We're starting a institution.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing, and especially, I mean, on both ways. I mean, it's a terrible thing. It's gonna bring to light, like you said, people are gonna research. They're not just gonna randomly. Well, some people might just randomly hashtag cancel Colbert, but most people are gonna look into it and see
Yeah.
that it was out of context
It
and
was
be
a
like,
parody.
"Come on, people."
You know, it was a parody. I don't think he should be in trouble for it. You know what I mean? If they're
there's
not
no
going to
reason.
hate the Redskins for doing it, why are they going to hate him for doing it?
All comedians say some bad things when you take they say apparently
Kramer?
bad things. Yeah. I mean, that was kind of a bad thing.
Like
and
Mel Gibson?
Yeah. Okay.
Who else? Hashtag us any other comedians y'all know.
Just let us know some of the dumb things people say. Some of those things aren't. They're bad in any context.
They're awful. Yeah.
But when comedians get things
When
taken out of
comedians go
context, I mean,
bad.
their job is to make jokes. They're not serious about any of that kind of stuff. I mean, sometimes they are, but most of the time, any kind of jokes like that, it's just to bring to light how stupid it is that people actually think that or something like that.
Usually that usually.
There's all kinds of terrible people in the world.
But yeah, at home, Steven at home. That's his Twitter handle.
Yeah. So
So it wasn't him personally.
It
Like
wasn't
you said,
that.
It was probably like
it
a
was that
social
account.
media.
It was the at. Let's see. Where is it?
At Colbert Report.
Yeah, at
Somebody
Colbert
who worked
Report.
for the
So
show.
it was the show's account, and essentially what they did. I mean, they weren't condoning like this is right. It was just a
It was
quote
just a
from the
s-
episode. They had a link to the video and everything, and it was just taken out of context.
I still love you, Steven. I don't care.
It's an awesome show. There's no reason for people to get mad. I mean, of course they can say, yeah, the joke's bad, but the joke's based on a real thing, so that's
Yeah.
even worse.
It is, but if you're gonna get pissed at that, then he won't even have a show. Then you know what I'm saying? That's what he does.
Hmm. Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna Google this next one just so I got some more stuff on it. Go for it.
Okay, yeah. So I love retro games.
I love them too.
Yeah. So I
Not
Any-
more than girls though. I do love the ladies.
but retro games. I like video games in general, but the retro games I've kind of over the last couple years I've kind of really got into them, and I've started buying like older consoles. Like I have the original Atari and the Nintendo NES system, and I've bought games. But one of the bigger kind of news stories, at least, I mean, not a huge story, not everyone knows about it, but Atari, what they did, I mean, Atari's not around anymore, so they got bankrupt, and one of the big reasons they got bankrupted was because they wanted to license the rights to make an E.T. video game.
Which is a great movie, but an awful video game.
Yeah, the video game, of course, notoriously is one of it's touted as one of the worst video games ever. But what had happened is Steven Spielberg wanted a lot of money for the rights, so Atari paid him. I mean, they paid it, got the rights, made the game.
It says several million copies.
Yeah, eventually, but unfortunately, the game was terrible. It
At
didn't.
no point really.
Yeah, I mean, the plot of the movie is essentially an alien gets to Earth and needs to phone home and wants to get back.
Well, they make
to
that the satellite deal, and supposedly called his family
Yeah.
back.
And
'Cause he was like
so,
a little kid in
yeah.
summer camp, like meatballs.
So
Meathead.
eventually, the game's plot is you're an alien. You're playing as E.T. and you have to find parts for a phone. But it was terribly made, a lot of glitches. I have the game and I played it. It's essentially your little brown
Dot
pixelated
pixelated.
ET thing, and you're walking around. You fall into holes. You may find a part. You may not find a part, and then you fly out of the hole and you keep walking. And you have to avoid. I think there's like government things that wander around, and there's no real. The game wasn't good and sales were bad, and eventually
It led to the North American video game crash of 1983.
yeah. Since Atari went down,
They were sold off.
So it bankrupted Atari. So, but they had all this backstock of all these games and
They said the
ET.
most was E.T.
Yeah,
several
E.T.,
million copies
yeah.
of E.T.
So they had to get rid of it. So what they did was they went to a town called Alamo Gordo in New Mexico, and they dumped it all in a landfill and covered it all up and everything.
Sand.
Yeah, and
alien
it's kind of
parts.
yeah, it's kind of gained some like wide ranging like speculation on what actually
Urban legends.
what's actually buried there, because Atari said it's just old broken games, but news reports say it's like it's
Actual
new
aliens.
new games and
Nude games.
Yep, exactly.
Oh shit! Let's go.
Some of them say that.
We need a ride to New Mexico. What was it called again?
Alamo Gordo.
Alamo Gordo, guys.
Remember
Let's
the
go.
Alamo Gordo.
Let's go.
But yeah, a lot of games, a lot of consoles, all types of stuff people have said that are in there, and there's a lot of speculation about it. It's gained like a mythic status in like retro gaming history. It's like the landfill. It's supposed to have all this awesome stuff in there, and what had happened is a documentary got the rights actually to go and dig it up for the documentary and have.
Well, you got to. This thing says that Atari lost in '83. They lost up to $536 million on that, and like the Pac-Man port game and some other stuff like that. That's awful. This is all Wikipedia, so we don't know how true this all is.
But so people want to find out what's in there.
Yeah.
It's like a urban legend in the gaming industry. It's like what's actually there. So documentary.
We should throw a trip, man. I'm serious.
Doesn't go there, but
How much desert is it to dig up? Come on, how much sand could there
well,
be?
they know technically where it is, but governments are kind of delaying the search for it because there's all this, I don't know, regulations and all that kind of stuff to do it. But
Alamo Gordo, you guys sponsor us some shovels.
some top pod shovels.
Yes, and
But,
bulldozers.
So people want to find out what's in it. It's a big part of gaming history, and they want to know about it. And I mean, we kind of deserve to know about it. It's been a long time. It was back in '83 when it was. So, so people want to do that, but they're kind of delaying it. So it's kind of a big thing. I'm gonna keep on the story and
it says that Atari chose the site because no scavenging allowed at landfills.
Yeah.
And if they were afraid of, they threw it in any other place that people would go and just like put together copies of E.T.
Yeah,
you know?
and there was news stories about kids going to that landfill and coming out with
aliens,
like brand new. No aliens, come on. Keep finding cartridges, like new cartridges of like all these games, like E.T., Raiders of the Lost Ark, Defender, Berserk, all the games that Atari is kind of known for, and just finding them in that landfill. And so people want to find out, and some companies want to do that and especially for that documentary.
Atari should give it up already, man. It's like, come on, if somebody wants to play a fucking
Atari's,
E.T. game, let them go and get it from the fucking desert for free. Give me
it's not
break.
Atari that's stopping it; it's government. So
that's a cover up. That's what I call that, my friend.
Yeah, so
that's probably where they dump like alien bodies.
Yeah,
I'm
aliens.
serious.
Gotta be aliens. Yeah, Atari
serious.
aliens.
Spaceships.
E.T. was real.
Yeah, maybe E.T. was real, and they just buried him in the video games to get rid of him or something.
But yeah, that's that story. We'll like I said, we'll keep on it. We'll kind of.
We're gonna have to revisit that because hopefully sooner or later somebody's gonna be allowed to try to find these things.
It's in the works, so we'll
be a great story.
I'd like to know about it. A lot of people would, so I'm definitely gonna keep that in mind. Some of the kind of the other news. Do you like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I used to.
I used to. Yeah, I watched the show. I had a lot of the toys. Remember, I had the like a van, I guess, that they had, and I think I don't know if I had.
It was kind of. I was kind of beyond it by the time they came out. I was more of a G.I. Joe, He-Man kind of guy.
All right, yeah.
I was like 6 or 7 years old.
But
my little brother, on the other hand, had all the Ninja Turtle stuff.
Toys. Yeah, me as well. With your knowledge, what was your favorite? Which one was your favorite?
I like Donatello the best because he was a smart one.
Yeah,
and I always tell everybody if I'd have been better at math, I'd have been a scientist. So
yeah, Donatello was my favorite. Yeah, the smarter one.
I live vicariously through him.
Yeah, and like with technology and all that kind of stuff, that's my favorite as well. The purple one.
Yeah, Michelangelo was cool because he was funny. Leonardo was the leader. Raphael was the tough one.
Yeah,
they all were pretty cool, but Donatello was my favorite.
The basic like 4 types of humans, like that
Mhm.
kind of stuff. I always thought of myself as like the smarter, more technology type person. So that's why I kind of associated with him. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trailer just came out, produced by Michael Bay, not directed by Michael Bay. A lot of people think that he directed it, but
It's still kind of pretty much. We saw Jimmy showed me the trailer just the other day or
Mhm.
yesterday, and it kind of does look like Transformers, but with
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles.
yeah, like the first parts of the trailer, like the first minute or first
Looks
few
like every Michael
30
Bay
seconds.
movie with like the helicopter going through the tall buildings.
buildings falling, a voiceover, like a
I bet you
talking
Optimus
about
Prime
evil.
shows up for like a second, like, oh shit, wrong movie. And he like
Ru-
cuts out.
oh, sorry, where's
Sorry guys. They should
but,
have Ninja Turtles versus Transformer movie.
no,
That kinda-
they're-
Well, that's like what I'm always telling you about Star Wars being better than Star Trek. Come on now, man.
Mm,
One Jedi on the Enterprise and it's done for them. You know what I'm saying?
what?
So
I
you're
don't
gonna
think
tell me Captain Kurt or
Captain-
one of your boys could take on Obi-Wan? I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
maybe.
No, man, not even a
Just
whole
one
starship.
Jedi. One Jedi.
Dude,
against,
that's all you need is one Jedi. That's all you need. All right, we'll get back into this later. Let's
Yeah,
get back
yeah.
on topic.
We'll bring
Tell me
it
what
up.
you guys think. Star Wars or Star
Yeah.
Trek? Hashtag it at Top Pod.
All the smart people. I mean, it's
Man,
not. It wouldn't be a fair
it's
fight. A
not
whole
even
starship
fight. It's not even
against
a fight.
one Jedi.
It's
no,
not even a fight,
I don't
dude.
think so.
Obi-Wan shows up and it is done.
I like Jedis and stuff, but that's pretty cool. But there's some like freaking.
Darth Vader shows up on the fucking Starship Enterprise.
There's aliens
It's
that can
over.
control people as well. They're all aliens can.
Well, I
they
mean,
can just-
Captain Kurt versus Obi-Wan.
Captain Kirk versus a Jedi, maybe not because
Or Kurt and Spock. And Zulu and that other guy.
I
and,
don't know.
You know, get a few of these guys in there, and it's still not a
I
fair
don't-
fight.
Spock and Vulcan neck pinch a Jedi, and
You
he'd
have
be
to get
down.
close enough to him, and he'd lose
Yeah,
his arms on the way.
Captain Kirk will distract him and fight.
Oh my
They'll
god, with
set-
some
they'll
spoken word songs.
What? When did that go?
Yeah,
Oh.
because William Shatner did the.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's modern Shatner. I don't.
Anyways.
He doesn't.
he doesn't exist
He
anymore.
doesn't exist to me. Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk about that later. But
Well, on the
um,
topic of that,
yeah,
on Star Trek, Leonard Nimoy.
yeah. It was Leonard Nimoy's birthday recently.
I just
This
looked
last
down
week.
and I saw that.
Let's see what he was. He was
83
83
years
years old. So yeah, happy birthday, Leonard Nimoy. Yeah. And
All right,
others-
we'll come back to
Yeah.
that. I'm sorry.
No problem. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The trailer looks. I'm gonna watch it. I like I said. I've seen all. I've seen, if not all, most of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies out there. They had the live action first one. It was.
I thought that one was good.
It was my favorite so far.
I thought the cartoon kind of looked a little too cartoony, like the toys, but the first movie was actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was dark and like it was depressing at points.
Yeah, man.
Like the
It had
part
like
where
all
they're
the
in
sense,
the
the drama.
in the forest and all that kind of
conflict.
stuff. Yeah, it had a. What was that guy's name with the hockey mask?
Casey Jones. He
Casey
was one of my
Jones.
favorite fucking
Casey Jones.
characters. And Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah. Were they in it?
No,
Was
but
that
like
was the
the
second one.
the original
Yeah.
like cartoon
Yeah,
series.
Krang and all the.
Well,
the
I
bad
never
guys.
got into Krang. I thought he was kind of retarded.
I
but
fe-
you know, just pull his ass out the body and punt him over a fence
Yeah,
or
there was
something.
there was a picture of a pregnant lady who had painted
Krang
as
Oh
Krang.
my god. That's
but
classic.
That's funny. Yeah, I liked all that kind of stuff. The first live action movie was my favorite. The other ones kind of went downhill. The other two after that.
The one with Vanilla Ice,
Yeah. What was the song?
Ninja Rap.
Yeah. Go Ninja, go Ninja. Go.
Yeah, there you go. There
but,
you go. Get it, Jimmy.
But and then they had the CGI one
the-
fairly recently.
The bad one part is of the new one is that they have noses. That's a no. Turtles, you know, they never
Yeah,
had the
they
noses.
have-
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
they
I guess turtles do have
They
noses, right?
of course have noses, but
gotta,
they
like,
don't look like that. I mean,
They don't breathe water, do they?
They're no, they're
breathe air?
They breathe air.
Oh yeah, because like sea turtles gotta breathe for
yeah,
air.
yeah.
All right.
But
they live in-
but they look weird. Like they look. I mean, without the ears, they look like Shrek.
They have
Like
ears.
No.
Oh,
Without,
I was gonna say shit.
like,
No,
If you took
that's it.
if you if you took Shrek and took off his ears, it would look like that, and put a turtle shell on him. It looks like that. It's
What a rip-off.
it's like a weird face, like it's like a flat face. And I always imagined in all the other movies they have kind of like a actual like a nose mouth like bump essentially.
beak,
Yeah,
a
and,
rounded beak.
yeah, like turtles. I mean, they have kind of
Yes.
just a longer nose and then the mouth that kind of opens like a bird beak, but without an actual beak.
Yeah, yeah.
And they don't do that. It looks like
Well, I guess we're gonna be that kind of a stickler. The old turtle movies, they had teeth. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
they don't have teeth. Turtles don't have teeth, do they?
Mutant Ninja Turtles. Do.
Oh, well, again, that's the other thing is that these guys don't even look like teenagers. They look like
Yeah, they're
fucking
like
30-year-old Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, it's kind of like the older,
Like they studied up on their samurai history and
middle aged.
Yeah, middle-aged
Ninja Turtles.
We're gonna rename this movie, guys, right now.
Yeah, and I mean they kind of changed it where April O'Neil, she's still a reporter, I think.
She is super hot in this one too.
Megan Fox, yeah, she's getting back.
That's Megan Fox.
At Megan Fox, she's made some.
She could get it.
Yeah, Megan Fox. Have you ever seen
Did Michael Bay do The Rock?
Did he do The Rock?
I saw you have Transformers,
possibly,
Armageddon,
yeah.
and Bad Boys.
I mean, he's known mainly for the Armageddon and Transformers and things. He might have done The Rock. There was a lot of explosions and stuff in that. I like The Rock. That was one of my favorite.
Yeah, dude, that was
one of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies. With
That's
Sean
probably the
Connery.
best Nicolas Cage movie, I think.
Yeah.
No, Raising Arizona was fucking good too.
I don't know if I've seen that.
It's like one
if
of his
not in a
first
while,
movies.
where he's raising
Where
he's a kid.
they stole the kid.
Yeah, I have seen it, but Face Off. I like Face Off because it was kind of weird.
Face Off, yeah, that was his best like villain performance, I think.
I want to take his face off. And John Travolta before he kind of went weird.
Got downhill.
Yeah, but okay, but yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'll watch it. The trailer looks. I mean, it's got a lot of action and stuff. There's a lot of like chases, and they're sliding down a mountain with snow and stuff.
It looks cool. It
Yeah.
looks cool, but it looks like most of it, was kind of taken from. It looks like they took pieces of the old Transformer movies, put turtles in it, and
Yeah, they just like replaced the CGI objects.
Yeah,
just
with
copy
Shredder
and paste
instead of
them.
Megatron, and
Yeah, and they changed a couple of the things as far as the backstory.
they did.
Yeah, because what had happened, like how the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles became Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in like the comics and the shows.
The secret of the ooze.
Yeah, the ooze, like the canister broke on some turtles and they become it. What did they say in that? Where did the ooze come from? Like, was it just radioactive waste?
Yeah, it was just radioactive waste.
What the trailer is saying is that it's actually created by a company, and
That's experimenting on stuff like that.
Yeah, or some. Yeah, the trailer of course doesn't go into that specific. But I'll watch it.
I'm gonna watch it too.
Yeah, just to kind of see. It has Splinters.
Just a Mystery Science Theater 3000 it.
Yeah, we'll do that. We can do that with the trailer.
Yes.
We'll think about something like that. But it has Splinter in it. He wasn't in the trailer, but they have him as listed as cast. So
I saw the picture of the actor you showed me.
yeah, he's
Is he gonna be like the rat who mutates into the guy, or is he gonna be the guy who mutates into a rat though?
I don't know. Yeah,
Because I mean, both of those have actually happened in the past stories, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
Like the cartoons, he was a rat that evolved into a man
Mm-hmm.
and followed his master's. That was
yeah,
the movie
that was
too,
the first
right?
movie. Yeah, that was the first movie.
And then like later on, wasn't he like, oh, well, he was a man who turned into a rat or something? I don't know.
Was it? I don't know. I know definitely the first one was from the first movie.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
'cause I thought he was supposed to be a rat, and then he grew into a little dude.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's cool. We'll post a link to the trailer. Let us know what y'all think about that. And then other than that, let's see.
It looks pretty cool with the exception of a few things,
Yeah, some changes they did. I'm sure it's gonna be.
If they had Bebop
right.
and Rocksteady, you'd rock.
Maybe they do. You don't know.
That'd be so
They didn't have
badass.
anything in the trailer on it, but that'd be cool. I didn't see them in the cast or anything, so
Like hidden characters.
maybe that's in the next one. Maybe if this one's good, they'll do that. So watch it. But we kind of the last few stories, kind of the strange, weird news of this week that I found is that a company in Philadelphia, a brewing company, made a beer that one of the ingredients is brain. And I want to see, would you drink it?
No, man.
What?
I don't even like to watch zombie movies. Why the fuck would I want to drink a beer with brains in it?
Yeah, it's a Walking Dead inspired beer with
No,
goat
man.
brains in it, and according to what it said,
give me a break.
it's adds a smoky flavor to the beer. I mean,
Is it like actual pieces of brain in it, or
of
is it
course
just like
not. No?
the
It's one of the ingredients, like how beer sometimes has like oranges and stuff like that.
Well,
in
I
it.
guess that's better, but I was like picturing like this bloody looking beer with like the little
just
brain floating
brain
at
in
the
it.
bottom.
It's supposed to be like reddish because they put cranberries in it and stuff like that.
No,
to-
man, that'd make me so fucking sick. I mean, I guess it's cool to like buy one and like put it on your mantle
Yeah,
or something.
that's what I would kind of do with
Novelty beer, but
yeah, and and we kind
I
of
couldn't honestly get drunk on something like that, man.
yeah. I may try it, but I mean,
I may
all
watch you try it.
all beer to me is gross. It's not
Somebody messaged us that lives. Where was this again?
in Philadelphia.
We need somebody from Philadelphia to send us some of this goat beer, and Jimmy will try it on the next podcast as soon as we get it.
It's gross.
We'll sit here on
gross
this
to think.
camera and watch him. I'll get a GoPro, so we got a couple different angles.
I most likely would make the same gross face features with any beer that I drink. Really,
well,
no, I don't.
You were a good time after you had a few. Come on.
I'm a good time anytime.
Oh,
Whatever-
yeah,
What are y'all
alright.
talking about? Yeah, I don't drink that much. It's pretty much just when I'm out with y'all. But
Which is great.
but yeah, on free time I don't drink. It's a waste of money, I think. But speaking of that, and we kind of touched on it earlier, Leonard Nimoy. There's also like Star Wars or Star Trek beers.
Star Trek beers?
Star Trek beers based on kind of the alien races. There's a Vulcan.
In a partnership with Federation of Beer.
There's a Vulcan ale, and they just came out with a Klingon beer.
Warnog?
Warnog, yeah.
Man.
Is there like a warring type thing?
Vulcan, Vulcan Ale and Klingon Warnog. I like the name of that.
Yeah, it's cool. I would like to have them like you said, just like on a shelf, just to.
I would
just
drink a
to be
Vulcan
cool.
Ale.
Just try it. Oh yeah,
Because, I mean, those guys are pretty laid
Spock
back.
was a Vulcan.
You know, so yeah, I
They're-
figure their beer would be kind of like. What if it made them like into Wildman? You know what I mean? That'd be great.
You drink the Klingon one. You want to have a war.
Fucking Warnogger.
War with everybody. But let's see.
Drink like a Klingon.
Yeah, drink like a Klingon.
You have to talk
Worf.
like one when you drink it
Yeah,
as
you
well.
have to speak Klingon. I can't.
I have no idea how they talk. I would try.
Well,
it, but-
it's like you make up some. Pretty much. That's
I know it
Klingon.
sounds something
Yeah,
like
it's-
that. Yeah,
it's
I
like
hate
real,
Star
real
Trek. but-
short. You hate Star Trek.
Well, I don't hate it, but I mean,
You're a Star Wars
Jedi
person.
would kick a Klingon's ass.
What are you
Mace Windu in the house.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, that's a topic. That's a debate we'll go on real short because obviously Star Trek would win. But
Let's take a vote. Everybody vote and let's see who would win.
yeah, just let us know. Just
Star Trek or Star
we'll
Wars
just,
at Tot Pod.
yeah, we'll do something. We'll do 2 posts, and whoever gets the most posts will win something, a shout out or something.
Very nice.
Or one of us will win, Patrick or Jimmy.
Yes. Team Patrick or Team Jimmy. Star Wars versus Star Trek.
Star Trek has way much more content, so that's why. I
Dude,
like
there's
it.
plenty of aliens in Star Wars as well. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
but there's 6.
But there's also fucking Jedi.
There's only 6 movies. Like that's the thing.
Well, because they know
I
when
like-
to stop. You know what I'm saying? Gee whiz.
Star
After
Trek-
The Last Generation, they just started going. You know what I mean?
No, there's
Yeah.
good
I
episodes.
haven't watched Voyager or what next?
Deep Space
Deep
Nine.
Space Nine. Oh my God! What the fuck are you
What
talking about? now?
No, that's the good stories. I mean,
I
they're
don't
all
know, man.
good, and they've raised a lot of questions. And
No,
That's what I like. I like
They
watching-
don't know when to stop. Is what I think. It's like, come on, man. Star Trek was great in the '70s. So was Star Wars, but Star Wars is just like, maybe we should chill. The only bad part about
they're
Star
making
Wars
them now.
is that Walt Disney bought it. That I cannot believe for the life of me.
Really didn't like
No,
that?
I can't like that.
There's gonna be more movies now.
Yeah, but they're all gonna have like Little
Lucas
Mermaid
wasn't doing
fucking
anything.
fairy tale stories involved. You know what I'm saying? Give me a break, man.
Mickey Mouse is gonna come into this
Yeah,
universe.
no, dude. A crossover with Yoda and Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
They're gonna make Mickey a fucking Jedi just because they can now.
Yeah, that's how they. I think how they announced it. Like they had a.
Oh, I thought you said they announced this next movie, The Phantom Mouse.
Yeah. Luke's son is Mickey.
Oh
Whoa,
shit!
no.
What kind of world do I live in?
But yeah. So Leonard Nimoy's birthday, he was turned 83. And a couple other birthdays I'd like to mention. Quentin Tarantino turned Fino. Wow.
Turn Fino.
Turned Fino, which
That
is
means
of course
fine in Italian or Spanish or
in
something.
Klingon it means 50. I was speaking Klingon. He turned 50. Quentin Tarantino, one of my favorite directors. Like all his movies, I like, and I like how they're kind of all connected. It's like the same universe, like a connected universe. I love, even if it's kind of like a theory, but I mean his really aren't because there's like same names and stuff. But I like all that kind of those fan theories where it's like
Connectivity.
connected universe.
6 degrees away from Tarantino.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino. He was kind of in the news. His next movie was supposed to be about some like bounty hunters called the Hateful Eight, but unfortunately the script got leaked online. One of the people he gave it to, I think he said like he only gave it to like 6 people. And then that got leaked, and now he shelved it. He stopped it.
Why would somebody do that, man?
Especially if, I mean, it's Tarantino. I mean, I want to see everything. I want him
A few
to
more movies before he stops. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
But yeah, he stopped it. And it would have been from I didn't of course read the script or anything, but from what the descriptions
We gotta make a movie trailer for Hateful Eight
Hateful Eight
and see what we think it would have been about.
well we can find out what it would have been about.
No, we can't look it up. Let's just
It was
see
about
what we wanted. It
It
was,
was about a number 8.
yeah,
And he was
Crazy
hateful.
Eights, like the card game.
He was high stakes Crazy 8.
Yep.
But
It's real. This shit just got real.
yeah, so happy birthday Quentin Tarantino, turned
Happy
50.
birthday.
And lastly, another birthday that kind of happened this week, Eric Idle from Monty Python.
Which one was he?
He let's see.
I'm gonna look up a photo real quick.
Yeah, I mean he's
Eric
been
Idle.
yeah, he's been in other things as well. Trying to think what he was in Holy Grail. He was something.
They all kind of look the same to me.
Whoa, racist.
Nah.
British people all look the same.
Well, the
Patrick,
dudes from the
whatever.
Monty Python show, not all British people. Well, maybe, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
You're gonna
Eric.
put me on the spot, man.
No,
They all look alike.
this is truth.
Everybody looks alike to me. I see no color.
Whoa.
Actually,
So that's the guy. You find
yeah,
it?
this is
Okay.
him. I'm trying to find a decent picture so we can hold up here. There we go.
Yeah, that's Eric Idle.
I'm gonna finish the rest of this episode as Eric Idle. Hey,
Perfect.
chaps. How do English people talk?
Hello, governor.
Hello. Hello, Jimmy.
Hello, Patrick. But that's all I can. I'm not good at accents.
Yeah, me neither.
But Eric Idle turned 70. Big news, I guess, with Eric Idle. They're a reunion.
They
So
always planning a reunion. Every time I hear about these guys,
well,
they
no,
want to
it just hasn't
reunite.
happened yet. So the
Oh.
first time you heard it, it's happening
okay.
in July. So it still hasn't
July.
happened yet. So yeah, they're coming back on.
That's not
it-
too bad, I guess. But they
in-
should hurry up and do it before they start losing them.
Yeah, I mean, well, they already Graham Chapman, one of the members, is gone.
So
Unfortunately.
they gotta hurry up, man.
Um,
It's like the Ghostbusters movie. They gotta hurry up before
Yeah.
somebody else drops.
Oh yeah, rest in peace,
Harold
Ramis.
Ramis, my boy.
But yeah, the reunion, the ticket sold out in 43 seconds. So
Oh,
that's
shit.
that's how freaking loved Monty Python is.
Dude, they're awesome,
Yeah,
man.
those-
I always get their movies. I was talking to Bill Taylor the other day about this. Is that I always get those guys and the Mel Brooks movies mixed up.
okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're well, I mean
They're
they're
kinda- kinda the same.
spoofs. They're spoofs on
On
genre.
other stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so that's happening. Of course, man, that would be awesome to go to see, but it's in London.
We
or-
need a trip to
some-
London, guys. We need y'all to donate to take us to the desert to dig up Atari games.
In other words, just give us a lot of money
And
and,
then we
we
need to
do what
go.
we want with it.
And no, we'll air this. We'll talk to you from the desert. We'll do our podcast out
In
there,
the desert, and then
finding these games.
next episode we'll be in London.
London,
yeah,
for the
we'll,
Monty
we'll
Python.
live podcast the show.
Probably just outside because unless they let us in with we got press passes
Yeah,
now.
we got press passes.
Unless they let us in with these suckers right here.
Yeah, we'll just show them and just walk past them.
It's
And
like,
they
nope,
just-
we're with the governor.
yeah. Hello, governor.
Hello,
Chip
governor.
chop, chip chop.
There we go. We're in, dude. We are so in.
Man, we just that's. Nope, we'll start World War
I'll
III.
start speaking Klingon.
And they'll be like, "Yes, good thing you didn't start singing." Or is there a language in Star Trek? Star Wars?
Yeah, English.
Well, I know, but is there? Did the creator actually?
Well, yeah,
make
because our
a-
C3PO is a linguist. Remember, the robot C3PO.
Well, yeah, but
He
did-
knows like so many different dialects and languages.
Yeah, of
so
course.
he's a
there's-
translator.
There's alien languages, but is there actually a constructed language in?
I am
Star-
sure there is.
Nope.
You know, I'm
Star-
sure there's Jabba the Hutt's language. Take that.
Whoa, or is that just?
And Jabba the Hutt would probably have like Boba Fett go and kill like millions of Star Trekkies.
There's gonna be a Boba Fett movie. That's
There
I
better
heard.
be. There better be him taking over the
Actu-
Starship Enterprise.
Actually doing things.
Yeah, man. Well, he's a badass. He doesn't need to actually do shit. He just flies around with that gun and a jetpack.
Has a gun.
If I had a gun and a jetpack, dude, people will fear me.
But that's pretty much it. As far as news things that we're talking about.
Rest in peace to
Oh yeah, a
War
couple.
lead singer
we had
David
some-
Brocky.
We had some birthdays. Recent celebrity deaths. Lead singer of Gwar,
Odorous Ungerus.
Odorous Ungerus, David Brocky.
The last of the founding members. I didn't know all of them were already gone.
Yeah, I think I read that on.
He was 50,
some-
right? Something?
Yeah, 50 years old. He had died.
Dang, you can't kill Leonard Nimoy, but this guy is gone.
Oh yeah, that's true. He's 83.
And like, who's the other dude from the Stones? Keith Richards. Keith Richards will not die, man. It's like heroin's preserving him now or something.
It's running through his veins.
Yeah,
there's
dude.
no blood left. And so David Brockie, rest in peace. And then also a famous character actor, James Rebhorn.
I didn't know who he was either. Everybody, I looked at pictures.
You don't, from his name, you may not know him,
but you've seen him a million times.
Yeah, if you've seen his picture, he's in everything. Just like a small list. I put on here: My Cousin Vinny, Basic Instinct, Carlito's Way, Independence Day, The Game, Seinfeld, Talented Mr. Ripley, Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle,
30
Meet
Rock.
the Parents, Adventures of Pluto Nash, Law and Order, Boston Legal, Real Steel.
Like, Real Steel. He's the grandpa or something, right?
Yeah,
the kids.
whatever. Yeah, he's a.
relative.
The older
dude.
Yeah, the
yeah,
older.
he's the one who wants to take him away from Wolverine.
Yep.
Wasn't it Wolverine in there?
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yep. But
Jackman, Hugh Jackman. I know
Hugh
his
Jackman,
name.
yeah.
Wolverine, the Wolverine.
Logan.
Logan.
Yeah. So he was in everything. Those character actors. I mean, they do so many things, and people. I mean, they do it just because they like acting. They don't necessarily do it for the fame. Because
I mean, I'm sure he was making a pretty penny, man. He made a living acting.
He was making a living at least for sure. Because I mean, he was in everything.
Make a living acting.
Yeah, there's a documentary on character actors on Netflix that I watched. It's a pretty good. Like, it has all the like the famous or well-known faces in character acting. So that's a good watch.
Dude, we should make a video and try to become character actors.
Yeah.
Let's go through the training in that movie that you say you saw.
Yeah, we'll watch it.
We'll train ourselves to become actors.
He just first lesson, you have to say actors. You can't say actors.
I'm already getting this, man. I'm feeling it pretty good.
People are calling him. His phone's off the.
Hello. Hello, governor. That was my Italian accent.
What? Grazie.
Hello,
grazie.
governor.
That
was Scottish.
But
like Sean Connery, man, that dude's Scottish, and he was James Brown or James Bond, not James Brown. He was James Bond. You know what I mean? How can James Bond have a Scottish accent? Didn't they like hate the Scots?
He's one of the best Bonds out there. What's your favorite Bond?
I think he was the best Bond, but
Sean
that's
Connery?
fucked up that he wasn't even English.
From
another country that they used to run.
He's one of the best. Yeah, he's good. First person that comes to mind, even though he's like one of the worst, like not liked people, Pierce Brosnan.
Well, he was the one that was in when I was in growing up.
That's the reason why. But yeah. So getting back on track. Lastly, just to end the episode, I just watched a movie that I really liked, Grand Budapest Hotel, directed by Wes Anderson. Really good, really funny.
You saw it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Badass.
The other day, I don't know when, on Friday or Thursday. But yeah, it was really good. Wes Anderson, another one of my favorite directors. All his movies are freaking amazing. They have Bill Murray in it. He was in this one, so
yes, dude.
Awesome.
Wes Anderson is the one who did Life Aquatic and all those,
Life
right?
Aquatic.
I love his use of colors in movies.
Yeah,
I love his shots.
Yeah,
his shot selection.
Abstract, kind of weird, awkward silences and pauses. And
I wonder how you get like that good at like a video coloring software. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure that takes a hell of a lot.
I mean,
of
I'm
either
sure
good lighting or hours of post production on that.
Yeah, I'm sure he goes through it all, and like it's ridiculous how. And this movie is one of my favorites that he's done recently. I like had a smile throughout the whole movie. There's freaking hilarious.
It looks like a good movie, man. It really does. The trailer looks awesome.
Yeah, there's action. There's like chases, like ridiculous chases, like downhill snow snake chases and stuff like that. Really, really funny. Definitely recommend it.
I like the use of color, man. Like I said, I found I Facebooked or tweeted a link to a site that I found that had the color palettes of the movies that Wes Anderson had done, and like Life Aquatic, the red, the blue, and the yellow.
Yeah,
and like different colors from different movies, and it was really cool, man.
Yeah, definitely. And this movie is just as good as his other ones. He's not getting worse. He's getting better.
He is an awesome dude.
Yeah. So definitely, if you have a chance, see that movie, or when it comes available through streaming or wherever, definitely watch it. Definitely recommend it. Awesome acting. His usual band of actors are
they're always good.
In it. It's funny kind of seeing like
the same dudes do different shit.
Like different things. Yeah. So definitely watch it. Grand Budapest Hotel. Anything?
I just want to plug the stuff we'll be doing. We're gonna
Yeah.
start doing some interviews. We've already gotten a few phone calls tonight while I'm sitting here that I've been trying to text message back about it. Next week we're gonna start trying to get some local bands, local artists involved. Like I said, we've got a few people we're gonna start talking to.
And they don't necessarily have to be local. We can do over the phone or Skype or things like that.
Yes, that's the
just-
main thing we want to do is push the interviewing with artists, musicians. But right now they're local. There's some people that we both know, people that we've known. We're gonna get them involved and start trying to get this going. If you guys know anybody, pass it along to them.
Or
Tell
if
them
you,
to hit us up.
if you have a band.
If you have a hidden
dude.
talent,
Yeah,
hit us
anything. Artists, filmmakers, if you just want to get your work out there to some more people, definitely just let us know. And yeah, just get in touch with us. I mean, anyways, through social media, through our website, email, anything like that. Yeah.
so we're really looking forward to bringing you guys some stuff like that. And that's about all I got.
Yeah,
man.
that's it. We'll get this put up on Monday. We'll have all the description and links
Tomorrow
of
will
course,
be Monday. Today
of
is
all
Sunday.
that. Yeah, I mean, we'll announce it as soon as we do get it up on Twitter. I mean, through Facebook, anything like that. So if you haven't followed us on Twitter or liked our page on Facebook,
Do it.
definitely do that. Just so you'll be up to date on everything we do.
You'll also be able to keep up with all our contests. We've got the Star Wars versus Star Trek war going on right
yeah,
now.
we'll go through the episode and get all of our lists or the
favorite
contests up there.
pranks. Favorite pranks. Don't forget to add those
Yeah.
at Todd Pod for Twitter, Facebook. It's thinkingoutsidethepod.com.
Yeah, just anything like that. Or if you just want to just comment or rate us on iTunes and Stitcher, that all helps.
Download us, subscribe us.
Yep, just all that kind of stuff. You know the drill.
Let us into your home on a regular weekly basis.
Yep. We won't do anything weird.
Don't forget to
we
send us
will.
money to go dig up Star Trek.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
no, Atari games, and then
Yeah,
to see Monty Python in
send
London.
money just in envelopes.
Thank
That's
you,
cool.
Governor.
Hello, Governor. Goodbye, Governor.
Glock, Star Trek.
Star Trek better. Okay. But that's it. All right, that's our episode. Episode 6 in the books. See you next week.